Welcome to my channel. I'm Kiera, and today I'm going to talk to you about my pregnancy journey with trying to get pregnant. I've been with my husband for about 6 years now. For the first 2 years, we didn't try, but we wasn't using protection either. So we decided to try in August 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, August in 2019. And by December, I still wasn't pregnant. And me being impatient, I said, let's just go to the infertility clinic at that time. I know people usually wait to go to the infertility clinic. Usually it's not called actually infertility until you've been actually trying for a year. But being that in the beginning of the relationship, for the first 2 years, we didn't get pregnant, even though we weren't trying, but we wasn't having protection. I was like, maybe it's something wrong. We didn't actually start trying till, I would say, August 2019. In August 2019, we said we didn't try, but we was like, whatever happens, happens. By December, we still wasn't pregnant. So I was like, let's just go to the fertility clinic because I am a little impatient. Usually infertility is actually a year of trying to get pregnant, but I knew something was up. I could feel it. So I just said, let's just go. So I found a clinic that we wanted to go to, and we called and we had a schedule for a consultation. During a consultation, I talked to the doctor, did some tests, and they found out why I actually wasn't getting pregnant. I'll put that in the next video though. Make sure you tune in. Usually, like I said earlier, it's not actually labeled infertility until it's been a year of trying. But since, like I said, we had 2 years of trying, well, of unprotected sex, but nothing happened, she just said to just go on with the treatment. Altogether, we had about 4 rounds, 3 with the clinic and 1 with my OBGYN. The first round, I went through the clinic and they put me on Femara for a week. After a week, I had the trigger, and about, I think it's like 36 hours after that, they do the IUI. An IUI is, let me see how to explain it. Normally when you have intercourse, the sperm has to travel all the way up there. Basically with IUI, they actually take the sperm and insert it to the right spot, so your chances are greater from getting to get pregnant. The rounds was not hard per se, they were okay. The only hard thing, it's not really hard, but kind of time consuming, was having to go to the clinic every other day for them to check the follicles. They check the follicles, and so then to make sure when it's the right time to do the trigger and the IUI, because sometimes if you are still taking the Femara and your body might respond really well to the to the medication, that your follicles are very large, and a lot of follicles, and a lot of follicles mean multiples, and then they will cancel your round, which is money. So that's why they make sure you go every week. It was hard for me being a nurse, and I was working night shift, and so just imagine doing a 12-hour night and then having to go right to the clinic in the morning. I didn't even go to sleep sometimes. So it wasn't hard. It was just like my sleep. That's what it was. That round unfortunately ended in a negative result. So we moved on to round 2. Round 2 was the same. I still took the Femara for a week. I still went to the appointments every other day. I did the trigger after a week, and after that we did the IUI again. And unfortunately that ended in a negative result too. After the second round, we took a break from the clinic. Unfortunately, because the cost, I didn't know until it happened to me how expensive it was. My insurance did not cover none of the rounds. The only thing they did cover was like some of the medications for like the Femara. They didn't even cover the trigger, and the trigger itself was like 150, and per round we were putting out 3,000. So 3,000 a round plus the trigger is 150 a round, and yeah, it was a lot of money. So we went to my OBGYN. Usually people start at their OBGYN first, but I was impatient. But yeah, so we went to my OBGYN. Not all OBGYN handle infertility. Usually they pass you on to a clinic, but the person that I go to for my OBGYN, he has some specialty in infertility, so he's able to do a little bit. Other OBGYN can't like prescribe medications. I don't think so if it's not in their specialty, but he was able to give me a Femara for a week, but they're not able to do anything else. He was just only able to give me that for a week. They don't check follicles. They can't do an IUI. You can't get a trigger with them. It's just straight Femara, and they give you like a schedule, like Femara 7 days, then like on the 10th day you have intercourse, and the 13th day, and then after like 21 days, like you come get labs, and unfortunately that was negative too. So we went back to the clinic. At this point in time, we had went through 3 rounds, and we were running short of money. We decided we probably was gonna take a break. I was kind of down at this point. Like, you know, you get baby fever. You start looking at YouTube videos, and I was kind of down. So my husband came to me and was like, let's just do one more round at the clinic. Went to the clinic for our 4th and final round. I talked to the doctor and let her know. I said, at this point, I want to do this round right. I want to do everything like that we can, like make this the last one to remember at this point. You know, I'm going to take Femara for a week. I also did research, and I looked up Gonal F, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And I asked her, could we throw that in there? So I was going to do Femara, Gonal F, the trigger, and the IUI. Remind you that Gonal F, that my insurance does not cover it, and that's high too. I don't know if it was like 200. Yeah, I don't know if it was 200, but it was expensive. You guys, this last round, I took serious. I was taking prenatals. I was taking my vitamins. I was drinking a lot of water. I was taking all the pills and everything that they told me to take or suggested, and I was playing around them other rounds. This was the round. I took everything on time. You hear me? So after the trigger shots, after you take the trigger shot, usually wait like 14 days or so. Yeah, you wait like 14 days. At this point, you guys know that, like the ones that's trying to get pregnant, I was testing out that trigger. I was testing out that trigger every single day. I was testing out that trigger. One day, I actually was taking a pregnancy test, and I saw like a little line. I was like, is that still the trigger? Or is that something else? I asked my husband. I was like expecting it. I was like, is it going to disappear? And at that point, I was like, maybe. I'm not sure. When I went back to the clinic, they do labs and you take a pregnancy test. And no, they actually do ultrasound. But you know, when you're that early on, they do the transvaginal ultrasound, the ultrasound that actually goes inside of you. You actually don't get the on the belly ultrasound till months later. But yeah, so they did that and they said, guess what? You're pregnant. I was so excited when they actually said I was pregnant. Actually, my husband couldn't come in because at that time it was COVID, unfortunately. So he was unable to actually go inside the appointment with me. So he was even more excited, trying to do the special surprise, telling him I was pregnant. You know, I want to do these videos because I always looked at these type of videos when I was trying to get pregnant. Always want to look at the success stories. It gives you hope. Plus, I went through a lot while trying to get pregnant, getting pregnant, while pregnant, delivery, everything. So just stay tuned, and I hope you like my videos. Bye.